To take the final steps of the 2010 regular season, you need to make all the plays. The Phillies have made the plays and made them with excitement that is September baseball. The games are winding down, but the pace of the games are picking up. And tonight picks up with the magic number sitting at 2. More home games to go here in the regular season. Another sold-out crowd expected at Citizens Bank Park. No celebration tonight because earlier today the Braves, behind Derek Lowe and his 5 strong innings, handed Bobby Cox his 2,500th career victory with a 5-0 win over the Nationals. So the Phillies' magic number remains at 2 to clinch their 4th straight National League East title. Their lead over the Braves is at 6.5. It's game 2 of a 3-game series against the New York Mets, and with a win tonight, the Phillies can clinch a share of the National League East title. Hi, everybody. I'm Tom McCarthy, along with Chris Wheeler. Sarge will be along a little later on. Well, we've talked over the last couple of weeks about this run in September, but let's go back to that first road trip for the Phillies after the All-Star break. That's when it really started to begin.
Well, they could have been 0-8 on that trip, Tom. Remember, they won a game in Chicago. The Cubs just flat out kicked it away. And then they went into St. Louis, playing a very good St. Louis Cardinal team that everybody thought was going to wind up winning the Central. They lost the first game. They lost the second game. In the third game, the Cardinals came out and started hitting home runs off Joe Blanton. That was a home run there by Holiday. And the Phillies looked like they were in deep, deep trouble after they lost this game and then now lost 3 straight in St. Louis after losing 3 out of 4. But somehow the next day they came back and won that game in 11 innings. And look what they have done since that date. They have just flat out taken off. They were losing by 7 games after July 22nd, and they currently lead the Atlanta Braves by 6.5. And this is what they've done during this 11-game winning streak that they're on. Their numbers are just through the roof. The team ERA at 2.27, and the starters, almost unbelievable in this day and age, 2.17.
Yeah, you think about what the Phillies have done during this month of September. The big 3 are 12-0. You tack on Joe Blanton's numbers, they're 13-0. Tonight, it's Kyle Kendrick who will get the baseball as the Phillies will try to pick up another victory against the New York Mets. He'll be opposed by Dylan Gee, who's making just his 4th start in his major league career. So the Phils and the Mets get together for game 2 of a 3-game series. A sold-out crowd expected. The lineups in first pitch when we return. Phillies baseball. Just 2 games left here in the regular season at this great ballpark. It's even louder tonight. The rally towels, thanks to the good folks of Toyota. They've been twirling for most of the pregame. Let's take a look at the Mets starting lineup. It's brought to you by Xfinity, only from Comcast. Leading it off at shortstop, Jose Reyes. Chris Carter, the left fielder, bats second. Carlos Beltran hits third, followed by David Wright, the third baseman. Ike Davis is the number 5 hitter. He's over at first base. Angel Pagan is batting 6th in right field. Josh Tolley bats 7th, followed by Ruben Tejada and Dylan G, the starting pitcher for the Mets. And they'll face Phillies right-hander Kyle Kendrick, who's making his 30th start of the year. And Kyle Wheels is going for his 11th victory of the season.
10-9 on the season, Tom. And you know, Kyle Kendrick, it's been well documented. He has had his struggles this year. He was going good, bad for a while, and then he started to have his problems. The left-handed hitters, of course, hit him, but he has pitched pretty well against the New York Mets throughout his career, including a couple games this year, especially up at Citi Field in New York. Here's our Southwest Airlines scouting report. See, his earned run average against the Mets in 8 starts is a very respectable 3.07. And, you know, he's trying to pull his weight in this starting rotation, and if he can command his sinker, then he has a chance, and he has to get the left-handed hitters out.
All right, as Kyle finishes up his warm-up tosses, let's take a look at our keys to the game, brought to you by Nissan. Wheels.
Well, no clinch tonight, but get a little bit closer. You win tonight, you win tomorrow. It's all over. Kyle Kendrick, he pitches very well against the New York Mets, and Phillies are hoping he'll do that again tonight. Keep him in this game. They can put down another win.
It's the end of the model year, and Nissan's laying it all on the line. Nissan's bottom line sales event going on now. Well, Jose Reyes leads things off for the Mets. Reyes was 0 for 4 last night. He saw his 24-game road hitting streak come to a close. Batting left-handed against Kyle Kendrick. And the first pitch of the ball game is in there for a strike, so we're underway.
Reyes hit a long home run off Kyle the last time he pitched in the game up at New York. Kendrick hung in there that day, but Pelfrey was just better.
Good pitch off the inside part of the plate, and it's 0-2. Last 2 starts for Kyle, he has handled left-handers better. In fact, his last time out against the Nationals, lefties were 1 for 10 against him. The prior start against the Mets, lefties were 4 for 15. So 5 for the last 25 against Kyle. And lefties have been one of the big issues for Kyle, particularly here in 2010.
We saw the average down to 312, and that doesn't look so hot when you see it, but it's how you got there.
He's ahead 1 ball and 2 strikes to Reyes. And a swing and a miss. He got him on a changeup. Oh, that's a good pitch. He kept a couple of those pitches down in the zone. 1 away here in the first.
Well, he had a good cutter early in the count, and then, as Tom says, there's a changeup. And he gets him for the strikeout to start the game.
During the 2010 season, Turkey Hill will contribute $100 for each Phillies victory and 5 cents for each carton of Phillies Grand Slam ice cream, sold to support the Phillies youth baseball and softball programs. So with 1 away, here's Chris Carter. Carter was 1 for 1 last night. He came on as a pinch hitter and doubled. In fact, look at what he's done against the Phillies this year. He's been a pretty good pinch hitter for the Mets. A .302 batter off the bench for Jerry Manuel's team. And on the outside corner, it's 1 ball and 1 strike.
Well, he's trying to use his off-speed stuff here early. A couple of change-ups. That was a change-up. Mentioned the cutter that he threw to Reyes. Trying to mix him up a little bit.
Kind of the same game plan that Joe Blanton had last night in that ball game. Joe used a lot of change-ups to help the Phillies to the victory.
Well, how many games have the Phillies had this year when they struggled offensively because the other team pitched backwards? Threw a lot of off-speed stuff to them. The team, guys in the major leagues want to hit fastballs.
Well, for the second straight batter, Kendrick is ahead 1 ball and 2 strikes. So he's fiddling with his grip. And Carter fights it off.
Thing about Kyle too, and Rich Doobie talks to him all the time, and other people about being aggressive. Don't be tentative. Don't pitch away from the bat. And, you know, all that stuff's easier said than done. But when he is aggressive, he does seem to have more success, especially when he can stay out of the stretch.
to the left side. Polanco stays down on it. And Kendrick has 2 outs here in the first. So 2 away here at the top of the first. How about coming into tonight's ball game? The Phillies, with 93 wins, have the best record in Major League Baseball.
We all knew that was going to happen.
Unbelievable.
They were on a pace for that back in July.
By a half a game over the Rays and a half a game over Minnesota and a game over the Yankees, who are losing to the Boston Red Sox right now.
And those 3 teams behind you, that looks great. It doesn't mean anything because they want to have the best record in the National League, because that really means something.
Easy inning for Kyle Kendrick. Boy, he threw just 10 pitches to retire the side in order. We go to the bottom of the first. It's the Mets nothing and the Phils coming up. Dinner for tonight's ball game. We go to the bottom of the first. Let's take a look at the Phillies starting lineup. It's brought to you by Xfinity, only from Comcast. Leading it off at center field, Shane Victorino. Placido Polanco, the third baseman, bats second. Chase Utley hits third, followed by Ryan Howard, the cleanup batter. Jason Worth is in the 5-hole. Raul Ibanez, the left fielder, bats sixth. And the bottom third of Carlos Ruiz, Wilson Valdez, and Kyle Kendrick. And if you're sitting at home thinking, hey, that's the same lineup that Charlie's had recently, it is. He hasn't changed it at all as this winning streak is built.
Yeah. The only thing he's changed was, I think, the catcher.
That would be about it.
With Brian Schneider. Here's Dylan G. Tom talked about him, that, not a hard thrower, doesn't have a whole lot of experience, but he's done pretty well. Walks and strikeouts not good, but look at the opposition only hitting 188 against him in 3 major league starts.
This year down in AAA, he was 13-8 with an earned run average just under 5 for Buffalo.
Supposed to be a sinker slider guy with a pretty good fade or changeup to left-handed hitters.
Well, we'll see. He'll see left-hander Shane Victorino to start things off. And Victorino swings at the first pitch, and he fouls it back.
88-91 with a sinker, slider, changeup, curveball, cutter. Got all those pitches. And evidently he's a strike thrower, too. Well, not a real hard thrower, but a guy who tries to be around the plate and get people out that way.
Out of the University of Texas, Arlington, and that's the same school that produced Hunter Pence of the Houston Astros.
There was that fader right there. You could see it. A good down and away changeup.
Shane had a big game last night. He was 2 for 4 with a home run and an RBI double. And he's down on strikes. 3 pitches, 2 changeups, 1 away.
Not the prototype leadoff hitter when you have never seen a guy before that you swing at all 3 pitches. Here it is, another changeup. What I mean by that, and Shane's done a great job leading off, but when you haven't seen a guy, you want to be up there on a recon, take pitches as much as you can, so your teammates and also you can see what the guy features. He just went up there hacking.
So 1 gone, and here's Placido Polanco. Polanco was 2 for 4 last night for the Phils. And he takes 1 for a strike. Overall, Polly hitting .297 with 6 home runs and 51 RBIs. His numbers have dipped here in September, but he continues to play stellar defense over at third. And he's come up with some big hits here in the month of September, and you could probably say that about everybody in this lineup.
Yeah, he's one of the guys that Charlie really wants to sit.
A line drive to left. Carter is there. 2 outs. Well, last night, Chase Utley was playing his normal aggressive baseball.
Yeah, they think he slid late there, and the Mets didn't like it. They had a chance to hit him last night, and they didn't. And see what they do now.
Well, David Wright was quoted after the ball game saying Chase plays the game hard. He plays the game passionately. But there's a thin line between going out there and playing the game hard and going out there and trying to get somebody hurt. I don't think that was Chase's intention to get somebody hurt. In fact, Charlie
trying to hurt anybody.
Charlie talked about that today and said, hey, listen, he's an aggressive ball player. And G throws the ball down low. It's 1-0.
You know, he'll have to have his antenna up around second base. There's no doubt about it. People come in there. You know, that's one way that, you know, you get back at somebody that you think has taken somebody out wrong is, you know, you try to blow him up at second.
2-0 the count to Utley. Well, Charlie was asked about Chase and whether he thought it was a dirty play. He said no. He said he's just an aggressive ball player. That's the way he plays the game. Then Charlie was also asked, do you think the Mets will retaliate? And he said, whatever.
Yeah.
3-0.
Guys will handle it down there. You know, that's not going to be the type of thing we're going to hopefully have any kind of fights and suspensions and that kind of stuff, because the Phillies certainly don't need that.
Well, and Tejada said that he was fine with it. You know, that Chase asked him if he was okay after the play occurred, and he was all right with it. As Chase takes a strike, and it's 3-1.
I don't know. At one time, a lot of guys played that way. You know, you don't see it that much anymore.
One of the guys who seemed to be heated the most was Mike Pelfrey, one of the Mets starting pitchers. As Chase lines one to left, that's going to drop in for a base hit. So he's aboard. 2-out single. And that'll give Ryan Howard a chance to bat with a runner on base. Jerry Manuel was saying after the ball game last night that he thought that his team would handle it. He didn't really expand his comments after that.
Yeah, that's my point. You know, there's ways you do things.
So 2 outs, and here's Ryan Howard. Ryan was presented with the MVP award from the Philadelphia baseball writers before the ball game today. The Lucky McDonald's Phillies home run jackpot contestant is Don Griffith of Pittsgrove, New Jersey. If the Phillies hit a home run in today's ball game, then Don will win $100. Swing and a miss. It's 0-2. Josh Tolley was busy last night with R.A. Dickey on the mound.
He's happy to be calling fastball, cutter, slider, changeup tonight, and no flutter balls. That is not fun. That guy's got a good knuckleball too. And as you said, he's going to get a contract from somebody. You would think it would be the Mets, but if it isn't the Mets, somebody will take R.A. Dickey next year after what he did this season.
Well, not only could he win you some ball games, he could also eat some innings for you too. A change up, and Ryan lays off. It's 2-2.
He really likes his change up, especially with these left-handed hitters. It's a good one too. Good arm speed, good fading action.
In the air to right center field. Forget about that one. How far is it going to go? Into the Phillies bullpen. Wow, what a shot by Ryan Howard. And the Phillies lead it 2-0. That man hit some long ones. Yeah. That one just sounded really long.
I think it was a fastball too, after all those changeups. You know, he decided looked like they tried to sneak a fastball by him, and oh my, his teammates enjoyed it. Yeah, that sounded like a home run. Yep, fastball, and he doesn't have a whole lot of fastball this time. Has a really good changeup, but he tried to sneak a fastball by Ryan Howard, and ooh, did that go out far and fast.
And Don Griffith of Pitts Grove, New Jersey, you've just won $100 thanks to Ryan Howard and his 253rd career home run and the McDonald's home run jackpot. And it's no balls and 2 strikes to Jason Worth. I thought there was a chance that was going to go into the Mets bullpen.
Yeah, that was a long one.
Jason stays alive as he flips that one foul. 31 home runs, 106 RBIs now for Ryan.
2 outs, nobody on base, and Utley gets a base hit, and Ryan Howard, bam. Another look at it. This thing is high, but it really gets out in a hurry. It was high, and then it was coming down fast.
Worth goes down swinging. That was a curveball. And the side is retired. But the Phillies strike first, and they strike in a big way. Ryan Howard, a long 2-run home run, his 31st of the year. He gives the Phils a 2-0 lead as we go to the second. Lead as we go to the top of the second. David Wright leads it off for New York against Kyle Kendrick. And the first pitch on the outside corner. It's 0-1. Fastball at 88, but good placement with that fastball.
He's only faced 4 hitters, but he's had very good location.
David Wright has hit in 4 consecutive ball games. That one off the hands that Razor Shine's boots. And it's 0-2. Wright was 1 for 4 in last night's ball game. Two and 2 the count to Wright. Wright is 4 for 19 against Kendrick with a home run. You saw those numbers a moment ago. Against the Phillies this year, he's hitting just .224. Has a couple home runs in 13 at bats. Swing and a miss. He got it. Second strikeout for Kyle. And 2 away. Hey, visit the official online shop of the Phillies at Phillies.com. Browse the largest online selection of authentic team gear, including official caps, t-shirts, jerseys, collectibles, and more. Get your team gear straight from the source. Shop the Phillies.com shop. Whitey statue out in Ashburn Alley. And here's Ike Davis with one away. Davis has hit in 24 of his last 32 games for the Mets. He's been their hottest hitter. He had 3 hits in last night's game. That's a solid rookie year right there.
This guy's a good-looking hitter. Hits it all over the place.
Little number in front of the plate. It's a fair ball. 2 outs.
Almost tied the game last night in the 9th inning with an opposite field homer. We've seen him hit some tape measure jobs when he pulls them.
Well, before the ball game today, Ryan Howard presented with the MVP award, the Mike Schmidt MVP award by Ryan Lawrence, the Baseball Writers Association here in Philadelphia. And overall, Roy Halladay received 2 different awards, including Pitcher of the Year and Special Achievement. And the Good Guy Award, well, that was presented to Shane Victorino. And there's Daniel Koob from Temple University, who was presented with the 2010 edition of the Callis Award. Sarge at L.A. presented him with that beautiful plaque. Daniel is a senior at Temple University. Last year, Josh Schrager from Temple won the Callis Award. That's the scholarship which we started in Harry's name, and 2 very good young men to kick off that award the first 2 years.
And you and Scott Fransky do a great job of organizing that, and we thank you for just telling us what we need to do once in a while. Great job, Tom.
Pagan, a foul ball down the left field line. Well, Daniel Koob does a lot already, working at KYW, WBCB, which is Merrill Reese's station. And there's last year's winner, Josh Schrager. He's not a fan tonight. He's working tonight. That's right. He's part of our crew here at the Phillies Television Network. Look, he's pulling cable. See?
Working with Jimmy, yeah.
He's pulling it right from underneath that gentleman's foot.
You got to follow Jimmy around. That's fun.
Toward the middle, that'll be a base hit for Pagan. So a 2-out single.
Got some great shots with that handheld.
Yeah, Matt's been roaming all over the place during this homestand. Matt's been doing it most of the time. Rich has been doing it as well. But Matt really gets some pretty good shots out at Ashburn Alley and all over the place. There are certain camera drops around this ballpark that handheld can utilize. And I think Matt's found just about all.
Yeah. Good stuff.
2 outs. Here's Josh Tolle, and he takes one for a strike. Tolle last night was 0 for 3 with a walk.
Well, that walk was in the 9th inning, and Lidge kind of pitched around him when he fell behind him. Figured, this guy can hit it all over the place. He might hit a little dunker out there and tie up the game. So you could see he didn't go after him. And then he got the final out, even though he basically got 4 outs in the inning.
So he got the final out twice. Opposite way, that'll slice foul.
I thought that was a great analogy somebody came up with, freezing the kicker.
That was Brad.
Is that who said it?
Yeah, Brad said
was it Brad? That was great.
Brad said he's never seen anything like that before. He said he hopes it's not a trend to freeze the closer, like in football where they freeze the kicker at the end of a game.
Ice that guy with some timeouts. Tremendous analogy.
I think Charlie was more upset about the fact that time was called, that the Mets were seeking time that late, in the pitch.
Yeah, in the count, where the count was, and then Brad Lidge had gotten his sign, was in the stretch and just starting to deliver when all of a sudden Hunter Wendelstedt, as we saw in the replay, started to wave because the runner at third had been jumping up and down trying to get his attention. It was Ike Davis, in fact. But it ended well.
There goes the runner. Pitch is swung on it. Missed. No need to throw. The side is retired. 3 strikeouts for Kyle Kendrick. Aside from the base hit from Angel Pagan, Kyle's really keeping the ball away from the bat. Raul Ibanez will lead it off when we return. Become part of an entourage. Check out Jeremy Piven in the acclaimed HBO comedy Entourage, weeknights at 11:30, right here on MyPHL 17. Well, last of the second, it'll be Raul Ibanez, Carlos Ruiz, and Wilson Valdez against Dylan G. You know, during the course of a season, you see many different folks at the ballpark, and you get startled when you see them on any given day. And we were walking around today on the field, and who popped out of the dugout? Then Jeff Jenkins. Jeff, how you doing, buddy?
Good to see you. Good to see you.
Nice to see you. How's retirement treating you?
It's going pretty good. A little bit of golf, a little bit of what you probably think, but nice to get out here to the ballpark and see the guys.
I saw him walking in the press box. Brett Favre showed up. Huh?
Yeah.
You do look like him. It's amazing.
Yeah, I've gotten it today probably about 25 times already. Yeah.
Like, the Eagles playing those guys even Favre.
Up the third base line, David Wright will make the call, and Raul Ibanez makes the or David Wright.
I was kidding you before the game, but dead serious. You will always go down here in this town. I remember the reception after the parade for the double. And an amazing night. Huh?
Yeah, it was great. I appreciate it, man. It was a great moment in my career, the biggest moment, and for this city, that was a great night to be able to spend that with them here and. Bringing a World Series back to the city was pretty special.
What was that like right there, Jeff? Being at second base and just hearing the crowd.
That was the little league moment.
Yeah,
that was that. That's what Jimmy told me on deck before I went to hit. He's like, you know what? Just go back to little league, man. Go have fun.
That's pretty neat.
It was pretty neat.
Jimmy was pretty profound during that last game because he told Pat Burrell, you know what's missing from this World Series? And Pat said, what? He goes, you.
Yeah.
Pat had a big hit during that last sequence of innings as well against the Rays.
Absolutely.
Hey, what were those 3 innings like that night?
Well, it was a long wait, between all that rain and the delay and figuring out who's going to hit. And, for me personally, it was pretty hard to wait through all that. But, finding out I was the guy that was going to hit and actually coming through for the team was a big moment for the team, for the franchise, for everybody.
Could you picture it? Did you envision anything? Did you focus on anything when you were getting ready to go up there or leading up to that at-bat?
No, I think you're pretty much just trying to fight the nerves. And, you're just trying to fight those nerves of actually coming into that situation and being prepared and just, taking some swings in the cage and just try to enjoy the moment and have fun with it.
Yeah, it's kind of spawned on this. These next couple of years. It's just been unbelievable, as you can see here tonight. This place continues to be electric.
These fans do such an amazing job coming out and supporting the Phillies. It never ceases to amaze me. It's sellout after sellout. People are standing outside trying to get into this place just to get a standing room only ticket. So, a lot of credit to the Phillies organization for creating this atmosphere, putting a team on the field that competes on a daily basis. Pretty special thing.
Ruiz takes a cut and misses the ball, and his bat goes flying down the stairs right past the Mets dugout. There we go.
Chuchi tried to take out Jerry Manuel.
Yeah, he sure did. Looked like he took out half the ground screw, though.
Look, guys are scattering down there. Look at this. Fools him with a breaking ball here. Curveball, and there goes the bat.
Look out.
Incoming.
Well, 2 away. Boy, oh boy.
Hey, we got a good shot at Charlie a little while ago. What was it like to play for him, Kevin?
Well, Charlie's he's a class act. A lot of fun playing for a guy like that who you know that he fights for his guys. Just like last night, he goes out there and argues for Brad in the 9th inning, on that play. So on the fake timeout or whatever you want to call it.
He talked about icing the kicker.
Yeah, right. It's exactly what it was.
Yeah,
how often have you ever seen the guy on third base calling for timeout? It was just a really weird scenario.
The other thing we were showing, it had to be. That's a good play by David Wright, but it's a foul ball. It had to be about a month or so ago. We were showing the highlights of Pedro Feliz's game-winning hit against the Astros, where you came all the way around and scored from first.
Right.
I mean, that was one of those moments during that season that was just unbelievable.
Yeah, there was a lot of great moments in that season. The culmination was the World Series victory, but we had so many different walk-offs, guys contributing during the season, and that's the fun part of the game, is going out there every day, grinding with those guys, playing with them. You learn about each other, how you play in and out, and for me, I was platooning with Jason Worth, so just had a great time learning a lot about myself, cheering the guys on as opposed to being out there every day. And it was just a fun situation to be a part of. And I definitely chose the right year to be with the Phillies.
Oh, no question. Is that the tough part of it, though, Jeff, when you walk away from the game, is to not have those feelings again?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if that ever kind of leaves you. I think you always want to play. But at some point, you just have to decide it's time to move on and go on to some other things.
Well, Wilson Valdez is at the plate here for the Phils, with a couple outs in the bottom of the second. And it's 3 balls and 1 strike.
Talk about all the time the guys that win a ring, the ring, like you guys did. You'll never, ever forget the camaraderie and what it's like to be a team. Is there something to that?
It's crazy. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely crazy. I think you play with guys and you hear about them talk about the postseason, but it's definitely fun to be a part of that.
And we'll let Jeff hang for another half inning. We'll take a break. When we come back, we'll be with the top of the 3rd. Phillies lead it 2-0. The fans section for all the information, and please submit your answer on the subject line. Wheels, the question is, what Mets pitcher faced Joe Morgan, Pete Rose, and Mike Schmidt in the first inning of his first major league start, and then wrote the first chapter in his book about that same inning? So you have to figure out somebody that could write a book also. Not only throw some pitches, but also write a book. The answer will be revealed in the 7th inning. Jeff Jenkins is joining us here in the booth. We go to the top of the 3rd. And Ruben Tejada will lead it off against Kyle Kendrick. Tejada last night was 1 for 3. Or I should say 0 for 3. And he is 3 for his last 36. Jeff was in town today signing some autographs, and you know, we were talking about getting to the World Series. Mike Sweeney's a guy who's on this Phillies team now and is working off the bench, a pinch hitter. He's never been to the postseason. And, you know, you talked about getting there with the Phillies and how great that was. I mean, how great will it be for him, do you think, if the Phillies are able to get there?
It's funny you bring that up, because I was actually talking to him about that during batting practice. And, you know, he's so happy to be in a great situation. People don't really know how great this franchise is, and everybody that's around it, that the players as well are very fun to play with. So I think that he's very happy to, and feels very lucky to be with an organization where he has a chance to not only get to the postseason, but win a ring.
Yeah, because he was such a good hitter when he was with Kansas City.
Yeah.
And obviously they haven't been in the postseason in a long time. And you would think in his heyday, if he was with a championship caliber team, what an asset he would have been to that team.
No question. You know, I always felt like the years I had in Milwaukee, you know, I wish you could have won a ring there, but you know, it didn't happen. And you know, I wish those great years were with a group of guys that's like here in Philly. You know, with Howie and Utley and Rollins and all the guys. So these guys should feel very lucky that they're not only playing in the big leagues, having a uniform on and making good money, but they're playing with a group of guys that they can win with.
Sweeney's got some energy, doesn't he?
Yeah, he's just a good team leader, man. He's a great guy.
G chops it up the third base line. It's a fair ball, and Polanco throws out G for the second out. So 2 away. Well, here's that game I was talking about against the Astros, April 15th. Pat Burrell started this rally with an opposite field home run, and then to score down the left with a ball down the left field line. I mean, you were hustling here.
Look at that guy go. He's a little fired up too.
Good slide.
Yeah, I think I remember Valverde was kind of dancing on the mound on us pretty good, and we were pretty excited to come away with the victory that day.
He had like a 3 or 4 run lead in that ninth. Yeah, you guys got him.
Just one of the many days that we put, you know, big innings together and had big wins, but that's what good teams do. You know, everybody has to contribute and do well, and you know, you saw that down the stretch in the postseason and ultimately in the World Series.
Here's Reyes, and he skies one to deep right center. Victorino on the run. He's there, makes the catch. And the side is retired. He ran a long way to finish off this third. Hey, Jeff, it's great to see you, buddy.
Hey, thanks
Good
for
luck
having
with
me,
everything.
guys.
Good to see you, Jeff.
Hope your Trojans continue along there. SC, baby. We go to the bottom of the third. It's 2-0 Phils here at Citizens Bank Park. With full flavor and a crisp, clean finish, it's what we do. And by Southwest Airlines. Go to southwest.com. Grab your bag. It's on. Oh, another sold-out crowd here at Citizens Bank Park. Only one more home game left in this regular season before the Phillies hit the road. They would love to finish off this division here at home. The magic number is 2.
Hey, you win tonight, you win tomorrow, and it's over.
It's over.
That's a great thing about having a lead. You don't have to worry about the magic number doing anything except what you can do to it.
Well, if the Phillies win tonight, they've clinched at least a tie for the National League East. As Kyle Kendrick leads it off, and he takes a fastball for a strike. Now, the tie-breaking scenario is different depending on how many teams from the National League East make it to the playoffs. If the Braves, let's say the Phillies and the Braves finish tied, and the wild card comes out of the East, they'll go with the head-to-head record between the two as the tiebreaker. Toward the hole, under the glove of both Wright and Reyes, and Kendrick has a base hit. So he's aboard to start the third.
And the head-to-head between the Phillies and the Braves is yet to be determined.
Right. Phillies have the edge right now.
Here it is. He hits this right off the end of the bat in just a perfect spot. David Wright can't get to it, and neither can Jose Reyes. And Kyle Kendrick has himself a hit, his 5th of the year.
So he's aboard, and we go back to the top of the order for Shane Victorino. Now, if the wild card came out of the West and the Phillies and the Braves tied, they'd have to have a one-game playoff to decide the division. A tapper to the right side. Tejada tagged Kendrick and threw over to first. Well, maybe he didn't tag him. Maybe they're saying he came out of the base path. Hunter Wendelstedt called him out and then signaled with 2 hands to his right. And that means he went out of the baseline.
Here's a look at it. Here's Tejada chasing him. Now watch. Here's what Tom's talking about. Now, you get this baseline stuff gets more and more confusing, but that sign that he gives right there means yes, he went out of the baseline. I don't know.
Well, Polanco's hit with 2 outs. I thought the rule was the base runner has 3 feet from the glove, which is the established baseline.
It tells you they know that rule, and then everybody's on the same page. They're blowing smoke.
High chopper toward third, scooped up by Wright, and an off-balance throw. And the side is retired. So no runs, 1 hit, nobody left. We've played 3 here in Philadelphia. Phillies still riding the Ryan Howard home run. Sell office furniture, cleaning supplies, kitchen snacks, and Green Mountain coffee for all your office needs. Who but W.B. Mason? Well, we played 3 here at Citizens Bank Park. We go to the top of the 4th. Phillies lead it 2-0. Thanks to a long Ryan Howard home run that went into the Phillies bullpen. Kyle Kendrick, meanwhile, has allowed 1 hit and has struck out 3. And Gary Matthews joins us up here in the booth. And Sarge, Kyle's thrown the ball pretty well these first 3 innings.
Well, staying ahead of those hitters, keeping them off balance from what I've seen so far. That's what he liked to do. Not having guys square the ball up.
Chris Carter grounded to third his first time up. So he's 0 for 1. And a changeup, and it's 0-1. And I think it's been his best pitch tonight.
Change up with some good movement on it, but the key is being able to get that over the plate, to have the hitters swing at that pitch.
And Carter pulls it to Chase. And there's the first out. So with one away here in the fourth, it's that time of the night. It's our thirst inning. And it's brought to you by Budweiser, the official beer of the thirst inning. It's unseasonably warm here in the Delaware Valley. And those Budweisers are very refreshing on a day like this. Bud Light Rooftop was packed last night, packed again tonight, as Carlos Beltran takes a few practice swings. And it's 1 ball and no strikes. Beltran grounded to short his first time up. Now the Toyota Major League scoreboard. The Rangers have clinched the American League West for the first time since 1999 with a 4-3 victory over the A's. Their magic number was 2 going into the game today. And the second place team was Oakland. So that's controlling your destiny.
Well, it sure is, too, though. And hats off to the Rangers. Awful hot there in Texas to be able to really win that division.
Talked about Mike Sweeney, who was hoping to get to the postseason for the first time in his career. Michael Young. And you forget that Michael Young's been around this long. It's the first time after 1,502 games that he's going to the postseason. As Beltran pulls it right past Utley into right for a base hit.
And as the hitting coach for the Toronto Blue Jays, Michael Young was one of the young players that was on the team. And interesting, you tell him, hey, here's a guy you should not trade, and the next day he was traded. So it shows you what they thought about me. But again, along with Orlando Hudson, that was a double play combination. Of the some of the younger kids coming up in that organization, and they've always had some pretty fine players.
Well, that's pretty good to have that kind of talent. I mean, to think about those two as a double play combination for the future.
And let me tell you, all they did was hit. I mean, constantly, all the time, both of them. Line drive hitter Michael Young, and again Orlando Hudson a little more flamboyant, if you would, but still a good player.
Well, and the thing about Michael Young that I think some folks forget about, they haven't seen him on an everyday basis. He's played 3 different positions for Texas.
Yeah, in lifetime 300 hitter, by the way.
David Wright sends one in the air to center, towering shot. But there's room out there for Victorino. Beltran tags and draws the throw. 2 outs. So 2 away. Hey, don't forget ball girl tryouts are coming up. That's right. If you want to be a Phillies ball girl, you can submit a 2-minute DVD highlighting your softball experience and why you should be considered. Send it to the Phillies. Attention, ball girl applicant. Citizens Bank Park, 1 Citizens Bank Way, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, 19148. Submissions are due by the 4th of October. No phone calls, please. And not only do we get a chance to help out here at the ballpark, but also can help out in the community. The Phillies ball girls are during many events around the Philadelphia area. They're out there in support of the organization.
Yeah, usually with the Philly fanatic. Might want to have some good hands if you're going to try and be a ball girl, meaning you got to be able to catch some ground balls, and always better to let it hit the fence first.
Yeah, slow it down a little bit.
That's right.
Mike Davis is the hitter. The count is 0-1.
Boy, no balls over the heart of the plate. You see that ball as it started over the heart and kind of dashed out. Kyle is most effective when his ball is moving. Doesn't throw that hard, even though he does have 3 strikeouts here tonight. More of a contact type pitcher.
Well, Kyle, at his 3 starts against the Mets coming into this game, that's this year, 1-2 with a 3.78 earned run average.
It does put pressure on you when the other 4 pitchers are pitching the way that they are. There's Big Joe Blanton. Good game he had last night. That will put pressure on you to go out there and make sure you try and throw a good game. That's that healthy competition that you need on any team to be able to excel.
But that's a good thing, though, Sarge, to have that healthy competition.
Oh, yeah, definitely. It just makes your game that much better. And the same way in hitting. The guys that are really hitting well, you want to try and keep up with them. Not necessarily doing better, but just making sure you do your part.
2-2 the count to Davis. Little topper right back to the mound. Nice play by Kendrick, and another good pitch. And he's getting his ground balls in tonight's game. No runs, 1 hit, 1 man left. We've played 3.5. When do we return? It's Chase Utley, Ryan Howard, and Jason Worth. And Wildberry Real Fruit Smoothies. Try a small for just $2.29 only at McDonald's. I'm loving it. And by Suzuki and the new Kizashi midsize sports sedan. Suzuki, the power of engineering. Well, last of the 4th. We said Matt was all over the ballpark. Look where he is now. I mean, Sarge, you wouldn't come up there. You're afraid of heights.
Yeah, I am afraid of heights, for sure.
Chase Utley leads it off. Chase walked and scored ahead of Ryan Howard when Ryan homered his last time up. And Sarge, we were talking about that play from last night that you and I discussed at length during last night's ball game. As Chase is retired after hitting it hard. We weren't sure if the Mets would retaliate in some way in this ball game in Chase's first at bat, but he wound up working on a walk.
Yeah, I thought he ended up getting a hit there. But
I'm sorry, you got a hit. That's
yeah. But anyway, it wasn't. You can see that slide there. Now you know what? It's a little bit late, but the fact is, it's a clean slide because he's right over the bag and he can actually touch it. Talking with Jerry Manuel, their manager, earlier today, he thought it was a clean play. I asked David Wright the same thing, and he said, "Well, he slid a little bit late." So what I think they're going to do to retaliate is probably go in hard to second base to try and combat that.
But I don't think Chase cares about that.
Oh, are you kidding me? That's why I had no comment on it. I mean, he plays the game the way it should be. I mean, he's a player that can play in any era. Pelfrey was one of the guys there that you're looking at that, was complaining some. And he's had his chances to pitch against the fighting fields. And they're backing him up a day, so he's not pitching. So, again, sometimes things get heated up, but if you play as hard as the fighting fields have played all year, that's the reason why they are in first place. And when you don't play hard, it's the reason why you are where the New York Mets are, which is in 4th place.
Well, Jason Worth was asked about it before the ball game. He said, listen, guy plays aggressively, meaning Chase, and he does. And if you're a Phillies fan, or if you've watched Chase grow up within this organization, which we have, you wouldn't want it any other way.
Oh, he has a linebacker mentality. You know, will give up his body and knows only one way to play, and that's hard. You know, talking with Keith Hernandez, because it doesn't happen all the time. That's why everyone gets surprised. That used to be the rule of thumb there, that second baseman was getting ready to get knocked down if Jason Worth gets a base hit on a breaking pitch.
That ball got away.
See, again, that's why you always keep your eye on the ball, because if he's going back and that goes by the second base, he can probably get there. Wasn't a bad throw either. Take a look at it. Carter gets that. There's that breaking ball that goes down the hill. Now he throws that ball right on in there. Reyes probably could have cut it. No, but he let it go, and it got by both players. Rhodes going around. Now this is where he'll take his eye back off the ball instead of keeping it on, and possibly could have gotten to second base.
So now with 2 outs, here's Ibanez with a runner aboard. Now, Sarge, when you played, you and Keith were discussing that kind of play at second would happen 3 or 4 times a week.
Oh, easily. Easily breaking up a double play. I mean, that's what it was all about. You know, ground ball, you go in to make sure that that next batter can hit.
Softly hit towards short. Reyes has it, and the Phillies go down quietly here in the 4th. No runs, a hit, 1 man left. We played 4, and the Phillies lead it 2-0. Gives his hilarious commentary about your Philadelphia Eagles. It's a show no Eagle fan will want to miss. My PHL 17 presents Fandemonium at a special time tonight at 11. Well, 4 in the books here at a sold-out Citizens Bank Park. And Angel Pagan, who has one of the 2 hits for the Mets so far tonight, leads it off. And he hits the first pitch in the air to left center. Playable for Victorino. He glides under it. 1 away.
Well, the ball's really carrying tonight because it is warm. Those balls aren't hit hard, yet they're really carrying out in that outfield. David Wright hit one earlier. Ball just seems to really carry. This is a time maybe where you want to take a couple of steps back just to start off with, since it is carrying like that.
Well, with Josh Tolley up, it looks like Victorino is playing in a couple more strides. But Shane has really gone gap to gap tonight out there in center.
Yeah, he's Got a lot of confidence in the way that he plays that defense.
Tolley struck out his first time up, so he's 0 for 1. On the hands, caught by Polanco, 2 away. Boy, he is really moving the ball around nicely tonight. Hey, the Majestic Clubhouse store at Citizens Bank Park is your one-stop shop for everything Phillies. Apparel, caps, novelties, DVDs, Fanatic Attic, and much more. Open Monday through Saturday, 10 a.m. until 6. And at all home games, make the Majestic Clubhouse store your year-round home for official Phillies merchandise. And you know, Sarge, this year at the Majestic Clubhouse store, they've been asking fans if they were interested in making a donation toward Phillies charities when they make their purchase. Well, tonight, the folks from the Majestic Clubhouse store, Scott Branrith, and some of the folks that work with him, presented a check to Phillies charities for more than $43,000.
Wow. Well, got a lot of giving Philadelphia fans, to say the least.
Tejada scalds one to center. Victorino on the run. He's going to have to put the Jets on, and he makes the catch going away. Couple steps from the warning track, and the side is retired. Kyle Kenner's going to wait for him to congratulate him and say thank you, but Shane Victorino was busy in this inning. He caught one to start the inning, and he catches one to finish the inning. Host your next corporate or social event at Citizens Bank Park. The ballpark offers a variety of unique spaces and on-site catering available year-round for many types of functions, both large and small. Call the special events department at 215-218-5100 or visit Phillies.com/special events. Carlos Ruiz begins the bottom of the fifth for the Phils. Carlos struck out his first time up. Dylan G., the 24-year-old former 21st round selection for the Mets, has allowed 2 runs on 4 hits. And it's 2-0.
Well, not a hard thrower. He does move the ball around, however. Pretty good demeanor on the mound.
On his major league debut, he held the Nationals hitless through the first 6 innings. And finally gave up a hit in the 7th, a base hit by Willie Harris. And he's got the count even 2-2 to Ruiz.
Well, he's able to throw the breaking ball behind in the count like he was there. I tell you, he has a lot of confidence in his off-speed pitches.
A looper to shallow center. Beltran comes in and puts it away. And 1 out here in the 5th. And that'll bring Wilson Valdez to the plate. Wilson Valdez takes a fastball for strike 1. Sarge, this Phillies team has won 19 games here in September. They've exceeded the 18 wins that your 83 team won in September. But you guys had a pretty good run, as we've talked about many times. But 18 wins, and you needed all 18.
Oh, needed all 18 to be able to get where we needed to in postseason. Mike Schmidt having a great September along with Joe Morgan.
See the Phillies run in September under Charlie Manuel the last 5 years, including this year. Yeah, that year you guys averaged 5 runs per game in September, which is a lot like this team. You hit 29 home runs during the month of September. Joe Morgan hit .337 with 5 homers as Valdez takes a walk. And Mike Schmidt scored 23, hit 8 homers, and drove in 17.
Okay, when he got hot, there was really no one better because he would be hitting the ball out of the ballpark. A lot of other guys be hitting singles, doubles. And Mike would carry the ball club literally. And again, he made everybody else better in the lineup. That's just how good he was as a player.
What do you remember about Joe Morgan's September? Because he didn't have a great year, but September was really impressive.
Yeah, not only that, though, embarrassed about the year that he was actually having. And he said early on, after the All-Star break, we got down to September, he said he'd make sure that we were in postseason. And that's one of the only things he said that came true that year. But again, you could see with those guys in their prime, with the Big Red Machine, with Pete Rose there, Tony Perez was on the team. You could just see how devastating that ball club was. I mean, they would literally just beat you up. I mean, constantly.
Kyle bunts that one fair in front of the plate. There's one. Reyes bobbles the exchange. Still gets it over to first to make it a close play. And Kendrick's safe. 2 outs.
Well, good hard slide there by Valdez that interrupt that throw. So he goes in to up in the shortstop Reyes. He had to double clutch on that. Watch how he gets down there, and he goes after his legs and gets them. Don't understand why these shortstops and second basemen aren't getting up. And the other way you can really get those guys, he tried to step over them, which is a no-no, tried to make it up with his arm. But a lot of times those infielders can go low at the ground like Manny Trio would do. That makes that runner automatically get down, or guess what? Get out of the way.
And it's 1 ball and no strikes now to Victorino, who's 0 for 2. He's grounded into a double play, and he struck out his first time up. Sarge, how much did that 18-win September, I mean, you guys went to the World Series, how much did that carry over to the postseason?
Well, I mean, it carried over for sure. And just the way that we had to get there playing the Dodgers at that time, that beat us 11 out of 12 ball games. And remember talking with Dusty, and they thought because they had beat they had beat Philadelphia twice before to keep them from going to the World Series. They just thought it was going to be automatic. But we had momentum going into that into the postseason. And I think it makes it easier to play because you still have your adrenaline flowing. You're happy that, that you're there. But you're still carrying on. The guys are still swinging the bats, which is the most important thing.
Three balls and no strikes the count to Shane, with 2 away here in the bottom of the 5th. And ball 4. Second walk of the inning given up by G. And Dan Warthen's going to come out. And you can see the pitches by inning for G. Long first, quick third, quick fourth. But this has been a long fifth inning for him.
Yeah, not able to find the strike zone. That's where that pitch count will get up. No, even 3-0 there. Shane Victorino take it all the way. Wasn't able to throw a strike.
Well, 2 outs for Placido Polanco. Kendrick's over at second. Victorino's over at first. Polanco's 0 for 2. He's flying to left. And he grounded to third. He's looking for a clutch 2-out single here. And he takes a breaking ball for a strike. Well, all around baseball, there are teams like the Mets who are in a different boat than the Phillies. Phillies are trying to ride momentum. The Mets are just trying to ride the season out.
Well, they'll be glad once the season is over with, for sure. But when you're playing against a team that you think you can really hurt, you get up for those teams, like the Cubs are doing against the St. Louis Cardinals and giving them some problems. But other than that, I mean, if you're playing against the Milwaukee Brewers or the Nationals, you want that season to be over with quickly.
That's going to stay up there for Beltran, who forgot the outs as he makes the catch, and the side is retired. The Phillies leave a couple. No runs. No hits, 2 men left. We go to the 6th. The sold-out crowd enjoying a 2-0 lead. Have been there in full support, filling Citizens Bank Park to its capacity for the entire season. The amazing part of the story comes on the road. Fightin' Faithfuls have traveled to each and every city during the 2010 season, giving each ballpark a nice shade of red. Transplants and travelers in Phillies colors have arrived in all regions to back their squad, while one very determined individual wouldn't let a little tropical storm keep him from seeing his Phillies. His loyalty and yours is brought to you by Independence Blue Cross. We're here for you every step of the way. Well, Sarge, we've said it over and over again. This place is unbelievable to come to work to on a daily basis. But look at that. 3,601,947 tops in the National League. The average attendance tops in the National League. 122 consecutive sellouts. Tomorrow will be 123, and then it'll carry over to 2011. I mean, it's just it's been an unbelievable run for the team, but for everybody around the team as well.
I tell you, when you start to win, it's just a place to be, and it's such an exciting ball club. And the guys that you have on it, most of the guys are in their prime that are playing on this team. And then Ruben goes out and get players that are complimentary of the guys that they already have, and the show goes on.
Well, Dylan G leads it off here in the top of the 6th, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike to G. He grounded the third his first time up. I think one of the indications how faithful the fans have been is just peeking out to Ashburn Alley. on a nightly basis, and seeing the folks who are basically in their normal spot each and every night.
Oh yeah, they'll claim their spots, even standing room only. Guys will tell them, "Hey, I was here last night. You got to move over a little bit."
Swing and a miss, and another strikeout for Kyle. 6 in a row retired by Kendrick. On the Toyota Major League scoreboard, the National League playoff chase, the Padres edge the Reds 4-3. The Giants lead the Rockies 1-0 in the top of the first. Now, the Reds' magic number is down to 2 because the Cardinals lost.
Yep.
And there you see the West. It's going to come down to the wire in the West.
Oh, no doubt about it. And right now, Colorado have their back against the wall there tonight against the San Francisco Giants.
Yeah, that's Barry Zito pitching for the Giants. Some folks think he may be the odd man out if they make it to the postseason.
Well, he had a good first half and difficult second half so far. The thing for him, though, he just has to be so perfect every night because he doesn't have pitches to be able to strike guys out or throw the ball by a lot of the batters.
1-2 the count to Reyes. Do you have a favorite out of the West, you think? You think the Giants will pull it out? You think the Padres will get back into first and hang on?
Well, I like the Giants because of their the pitching that they have, and believe it or not, our old friend there, Pat Burrell, who ended up having another home run last night. He's had a great year for the San Francisco Giants. I think it was his 19th home run. The Bochy manager has given him a lot of credit for the way that ball club has turned around and played. A lot of people didn't think Pat would be able to play out there in left field because he's not a fast runner and it's such a huge
big outfield. Yep. Oh, with one out and Reyes at first. Chris Carter's the hitter. And the first pitch to Carter is taken outside. It's 1-0. Carter grounded out to third and grounded out to Chase at second his last time up, so he's 0 for 2.
It's the big inning there for Kyle because this is the inning, that 6th, 7th inning is usually when he has some problems. Got to continue to make your pitches, get your ground balls.
That's a little high. It did come back toward the plate, but it was up, and it's 2-1. Only 61 pitches for Kyle tonight.
He's been throwing a lot of strikes, a lot of quality strikes.
Ooh, they nearly had Reyes. Wow, that was close.
Yeah, it was close there. Reyes maybe getting ready to steal as he gets back. See, just gets under the tag.
Had him in between steps there.
Yeah, well, you would think that if he gets a jump that he would go on and run. I mean, again, they're in 4th place. Nothing to really gain or to lose. So they can play aggressively.
A changeup over for strike 2. 2-2 to Carter.
Why, it's been a good pitch for him tonight. Changeup. Now, even though it was high, you saw the movement on it as it darting toward the outside part of the plate.
Made another good pitch. Popped it up the third base line. Placido Polanco is down and over toward the mound. 2 outs. So 2 away here are the 6. Hey, Phillies Fantasy Camp still has a few spots remaining for the 2011 camp from the 19th of January till the 23rd. The package includes hotel accommodations, practice with and instruction from baseball legends such as Mitch Williams, Greg Luzinski, Jim Eisenreich, Mickey Morandini, and the commish Larry Anderson. Fantasy game versus the legends at Bright House Field. Get a Phillies uniform with your name on the back. Call 610-520-3400. Here's Beltran with 2 away. And it looked like he was taking one for Reyes to run. And he takes it for a strike.
It's about the second or third time that Reyes has bluffed going from first base.
They got him. Yep. Second time in this series that Phillies pitching has picked off the base runner. Reyes can't believe it, but Kendrick was getting close with a couple of previous throws. That is a big out to finish up the 6th inning and some big wheels to take off the base path. Kyle Kendrick with the pickoff. He's dealing in so many ways in tonight's game. West.com. Grab your bag. It's on. And by Xfinity. It's TV, phone, and internet. Reinvented from Comcast. Crab fries, Sarge.
Well, they're good.
They are. You can't have just one. That's the problem.
Yeah, I've seen you eating them.
Hot and fresh, right out from under the lamp. Chase Utley leads it off, and Chase takes one inside. Chase tonight has singled, and he's lined out. And he pulls it towards second to a knee, Tejada. And one gone here in the 6th. Well, Sarge, we mentioned there are a couple of pickoffs in this series. There's Joe Blanton last night.
Clearly had him out there as he gets Angel to down, picks him off. And now tonight there, Reyes is there. Quick feet again. And he got him again. Reyes saying, oh no. When you're down, though, you don't even want it to be that close.
Well, the fact that it was close earlier should have been an indication for Reyes to get, maybe a half a step closer to the bag.
Right, not unless you're trying to go. But again, I thought he could have easily got back. But the fact is, you don't want to take a big lead if you're not gonna go.
The Mets all-time leader in stolen bases, 30 steals this year. He's still thinking about it.
Yeah, they're going to probably have to change the whole face of this club. Some popular players, I would think, won't be there next year.
Well, they have $130 million committed to contracts for 2011.
Oh, boy.
And Jerry Manuel may not be around to see those players. Some don't see the field anymore, like Louis Castillo and Oliver Perez. Jerry Manuel, about a week ago, was involved in a situation that no manager wants to be involved in. That's when another guy said he would be interested in his job.
Oh, boy.
Joe Torre mentioned that he would be interested in managing the Mets. He said he would take a phone call from the Mets owner, Fred Wilpon. And a breaking ball to Worth, and that's off the glove of Tolle, and it's 1 ball and no strikes.
Well, obviously, then Joe Torre not ready to give it up, even though he resigned from the Dodgers and don't think he was going to come back. They weren't talking extension for him, so he elected to leave.
Well, Joe Torre, a day or so later, recanted and said that he was not interested in the Mets managerial position at that time. But who knows if that leaves the door open for the future. 2-1 to count. I think it's hard enough to be a major league manager, but it must be even harder when you hear a potential Hall of Famer say that he might be interested in the job that you have.
Well, knowing then that you're not going to be there very long.
Jerry Manuel was a manager with the Chicago White Sox. See what he's done as the Mets skipper in his 3rd year, 2nd full season, after taking over for Willie Randolph.
Well, with all the injuries they've had and their best pitcher down in Santana, it would just be difficult for them to compete. Can't lose your number one and then not have other guys step up.
Chopper to third, scooped up by Wright on the run, and Worth and the Phils are retired here in the 6th. 1, 2, 3 go the Phillies. We have completed 6. Kyle Kendrick is pitching well, and he'll take this game into the 7th.
Phillies Nation. Boy, that is so true. Another sellout here in this beautiful ballpark tonight as the Phillies go for yet another win to continue their winning streak.
And Kyle Kendrick has continued along very nicely tonight, Wheels. And Carlos Beltran will lead it off. He was up when Reyes was thrown out to finish up the top of the 6th inning.
He's done a good job of throwing strikes, using the big part of the ballpark tonight for some long fly balls.
And a base hit for Beltran to start the 7th. And Beltran pulls it right on one hop in front of Jason Worth. So a leadoff single.
Well, he's getting the bullpen up as we check out the Verizon Wireless game summary. The difference in this game: Ryan Howard's 400-plus foot home run in the 1st inning with Chase Utley aboard. The Mets have not had a runner pass first base to this point. Dylan G, very impressive with his off-speed stuff. Throws a lot of strikes. Done a good job tonight. And Kyle Kendrick, a solid 6, pitching into the 7th.
There's Chad Durbin and J.C. Romero. They're loosening up in the pen. And David Wright stands in with a runner at first and nobody out. Breaks his bat. A grounder back to the mound. Kendrick has it. Throws to second. How about that play by Valdez to step in front of Utley and hang on to a piece of the bag. Now Chase was there, but Valdez, I guess, on a comebacker, it's his responsibility to be there to make the play.
Well, I don't know. I think it's probably, in my opinion, probably Utley's play, because you're playing right to pull. So the second baseman's going to be there, and then all of a sudden he flashes in front of him. See, Chase Utley was there,
yeah,
because he's going to be the guy that's supposed to be over there, especially since the ball was hit to that side of the mound. You figure the shortstop's going to, the ball's hit towards him. Anyway, it worked.
It worked, and he was able to get his foot on the bag. So one away with a runner at first. Here's Ike Davis. Davis is 0 for 2. And a flare to center. That's going to drop in front of Victorino. And the Mets have 2 aboard with 1 out.
It's a good job by Kendrick, though, to get the lead runner there, or they would have, of course, had a run on that ball that was just hit by Davis.
Well, these lucky fans are tonight's Citizens 7. They will each receive a prize pack courtesy of Citizens Bank. Citizens Bank with the most 7-day branches in the Philadelphia area. To find a branch near you, visit citizensbank.com. Oh, with 1 away, here's Angel Pagan. He's a threat in so many ways. He homered in last night's ball game. He's 1 for 2 tonight.
Well, he has 8 of his 11 home runs left-handed.
And it's 1 ball and no strikes.
I'm hoping Kendrick could throw a double play ball now and get out of the inning. Only thrown 69 pitches. Both these teams have been up there hacking from the first hitters. Tell it's getting late in the year.
On the outside corner. That's where he's been working a lot of the hitters tonight. Outside, inside, and he's done it very effectively.
Two 6-pitch innings. That's what I mean. They've been up there hacking.
Got the ground ball. Tough hop off the glove of Ryan Howard into right field. Wright stops at third, and the bases are loaded. That ball took a wicked hop right at the end and went off the glove of Ryan Howard. And sounds like they're going to score that an error.
Yeah, here's a look at it. Interesting to see what he would have done with it. He kind of got caught in between with the hop there. Whether to charge it and take it on the long hop. He couldn't get there. Now he has to back up. And once you back up on a ball the way Ryan Howard had to do there, it can play you. And that ball played him.
So here's Josh Tolley. So the bases are loaded with 1 out here in the top of the 7th. And a line drive past Chase and into right field. One run's going to score. Davis stops at third, and it's a 2-1 ball game. The ball wasn't hit that hard, but the infield was in a little bit for 2. And it went right past the glove of Chase.
Yeah, maybe, yeah. Charlie's stirring around a little bit down there.
And here comes Charlie Manuel with Tejada due up. And we'll see if he goes to get Kyle Kenner.
Here's a look at it. Pitch was away and he hooks it. Double play depth, so you're cheating up the middle a little bit and you can't get to it.
So that's going to be it for Kyle Kenner. He pitched well tonight, 6 1/3. He'll leave with the bases loaded. And this is an AT&T call to the bullpen. Chad Durbin will be the new pitcher here at Citizens Bank Park. The Phillies nursing a 1-run lead. The 3 runners on base are the responsibility of Kyle Kenner when we return. And he'll give way to Chad Durbin, who's into his 61st game. 4-1 with a 3.86 earned run average. Now this is going to be a tough spot. 1 out, and he'll face a pinch hitter. Left-handed hitting Lucas Duda has come out of the on-deck circle to bat for Ruben Tejada. So he'll face Chad Durbin in a 1-run game. Phillies 2 runs came in the first on a home run by Ryan Howard. That's been it for them.
Yeah. Like I said, both these teams have been up there swinging tonight. The Mets are bearing down a little bit more in this inning. It looks like they're getting some hits and trying to have a big inning against the Phillies.
Well, you see the inherited runners for Durbin. He's allowed 4 inherited runners to score this year. And Elmer Descends is up and throwing in the bullpen for the Mets. So here we go. Lucas Duda will pitch hit for New York with the bases loaded. And he takes a pitch low. It's 1 ball and no strikes. Phillies bullpen has been outstanding.
Yeah, they keep playing that infield up the middle for a double play, trying to get one to get out of this inning. They're pinching up there. So see their hole on the left side, hole on the right side for the hitter.
And a line drive base hit into right center field, and the Mets are going to take the lead. This is going to clear the bases for Lucas Duda. Chad Durbin gives up a pinch hit double as all 3 base runners score, and the Mets lead it 4-2. And those runs are charged to Kyle's line.
We got a fastball and out over the plate. He's trying to throw a sinking fastball down and away, and it did not sink. Just stayed up in the zone, and he tattooed it in the gap in right center.
Totally the final base runner to cross the plate. So Duda is congratulated by his teammates as Arias will come on to run for him out at second. And G will stay in the game and he'll bat. They had Nick Evans in the on-deck circle. And Chad Durbin just let one fly because they were beginning play and there was an announcement made. And Jerry Lane asked for time. No walks, 4 strikeouts for Kyle. And he allowed 4 runs. And all 4 runs here in the 7th. Swing and a miss, and it's 0-1 to G. Three of the runs are earned for Kyle. And it's 0-2. And now it'll be up for the offense to try to come from behind.
Yeah, they've done a lot of that in this winning streak.
On the outside corner, and they're 2 away. And now the 8th man to bat in this inning for the Mets, Jose Reyes, will walk to the plate. Reyes is 1 for 3. He singled and was picked off his last time up. One ball and 1 strike to count. That hit by Reyes was his first of the series in 7 at bats. Phillies had done a very good job keeping him off the base paths. And a line drive and another base hit for the Mets. Arias is going to score easily from second. Reyes goes to second sliding, and it's 5-2 New York. An RBI double for Reyes. It's his 52nd ribby of the year.
Line is closed on Kyle Kendrick. That is Durbin's run. Here's the pitch to Reyes. It was a cutter, it looked like, and it came right over the middle of the plate, and he hit that ball hard. So they hit a lot of balls hard in the center. Well, they were hitting a lot of balls hard to center fielder throughout the game.
Yeah, Victorino was very busy out there in center. Ryan Howard had one that went off his glove for an error in this inning. Two 2-0 the count to Carter. 0 for 3, a couple of ground outs and a pop out. This guy's very fidgety at the plate.
He evidently is a very hyper guy. From everything I've heard about it.
Well, he was out in front of that.
Well, he likes a fastball too.
Of that pitch, that changeup from Durbin.
Yeah, you can see him go way out in front of that changeup.
And it's 2 balls and 2 strikes. And he got him. A breaking ball. He swung right over the top of it. And the throw to first finishes off the inning. 9 men come to the plate in the inning for the Mets. The big blow, a pinch hit 3-run double by Lucas Duda into the gap in right center field. That brought home 3. Mets tacked on another one. They lead it 5-2. In the first inning of his first major league start, and then wrote the first chapter in his book about the same inning.
To be very honest, I do not know much about Mets authors.
Raul Ibanez leads it off here in the bottom of the 7th.
So I don't know.
Well, you have to think about it. We're playing the Mets.
Ron
there has to be a correlation.
Could it be Ron Darling since he's next door?
You are correct. Ron Darling is correct.
There you go.
The Yale graduate.
Yeah, well, I didn't know he wrote a book, but he certainly could. He's a very bright guy there. There he is. Good man.
Ron
Keith
Darling.
Hernandez and Gary Cohen.
See Ron Darling's career record, 136 wins, 116 losses.
Crowded in there.
Yes, it is.
Look at Max. There he is. That's a beauty right there.
Oh, boy.
Boy, what a good player. Keith Hernandez. And so is Ron Darling.
Jesus Feliciano is now in left field. Arias is over at second base here in the bottom of the 7th. And it's 2-2 to Raul Ibanez. The Phillies, they led it 2-0 up until the top of the 7th. Now they trail at 5-2, but plenty of time. And Raul's down on strikes, 1 away.
This guy's done a good job. He really they haven't hit that many balls hard off him. Really thrown his changeup well, mixed it up. They've been, very anxious tonight. Not a lot of concentration on these at bats. They've been playing with so much intensity at such a high level for so long. This looks like one of those nights, and they can still win the game. But this is one of those nights where, the bear down factor isn't quite as intense as it has been. Could it be every night the way they've been going?
Well, they've won 11 consecutive ball games, 19 of 22.
Really, it's been amazing. And that doesn't mean this bunch can't score runs at the end and win the game, because they're very capable of it. But it just, they hadn't seen this guy before, and he's not throwing very hard, and he's moving the ball all over the place, and he has done a very good job against their lineup, pitching it the way you should, and that's backwards.
Foul ball, and Ruiz stays alive. There's Wilson Valdez. He waits on deck. Charlie mentioned today that Jimmy Rollins is probably going to be in the starting lineup tomorrow for the Phillies. And a ground ball to short. Reyes backed up on it, but with Carlos running, he still has time. And there are 2 outs here in the 7th. Hey, the Fanatic Around Town auction is coming to a close. That's right. The auction closes this Thursday at 6 p.m., the 30th of September. Now, the proceeds for the auction, and they've raised more than $200,000 already, will benefit Phillies charities. And those Fanatic statues, you've seen them all over the city, here at the ballpark. They were painted by local artists. And you can go to the fans section at Phillies.com for information and end to bid. And there are the statues outside. As Valdez swings at the first pitch, and he hits this one deep to right, and it's off the base of the scoreboard. Pagan plays it well, and Valdez slides it safely, and he has a 2-out double.
Dominic Brown's going to get that back.
Yeah. It's been a while since Dominic Brown swung a bat in a game.
Good job by Wilson. Fastball away, and he smokes that thing right off the scoreboard.
And he pulls into second. Safe and secure. Safe and secure with New York Life. Dominic Brown has not played since the 5th of September. He's been out with a quad injury. And he has been rehabbing feverishly to try to get himself back into the swing of things. Dan Worthen comes out to the mound to talk to Dylan G. Might be giving him a scouting report. Also might give Elmer Descent some time to loosen up in the pen again. I'm sure Dominic Brown and Dylan G crossed paths in the minor leagues at some point this year when Buffalo and Lehigh Valley got together. See Dominic's numbers overall. And you figure he's got a little rust to him right now.
Well, he was struggling in this role anyway, trying to pinch hit, because it's so difficult to do anyway, let alone for a young player who's used to playing all the time.
Dominic is 3 for 15 in this role as a pinch hitter. One ball, no strikes the count. And it's 2-0. Those rally towels, compliments of the good folks at Toyota. Try to get this team back into it. And he hits that hard but foul on one hop. So Valdez will go back to second. You know, during the stretch, it's been odd when the Phillies haven't reached double digits in hits and when they haven't scored at least 5 runs in a game.
Yeah. This game just a little bit off here tonight, but far from over.
That ball gets away from Tolley, but not far enough for Valdez to take a chance, and it's 3-1. Victorino is on deck. And Dominic Brown sends one in the air down the right field line. Pretty deep, but it's hooking foul. Closer to fair territory than I thought off the bat.
He just got out front a little bit on that. Off the end of the bat, it looked like.
From the Fanatics angle, he thought it had a chance.
Yeah. And it's definitely foul.
And right down the tunnel.
Yeah, maybe not far enough to even go out.
3-2 the count to Brown. Not a swing and a miss. He may have gotten a piece of it, but Josh Tolley hung on to it, and the side is retired. So a 2-out double for the Phils. That was it. We go to the 8th. It's a 3-run lead for New York. By WB Mason. Who but WB Mason for amazingly low office product prices. By AT&T. Rethink possible. And by Toyota. It's the Now's the Time sales event at your Toyota dealer. Hurry. Offer ends soon. Well, we go to the 8th here at Citizens Bank Park. A sold-out crowd. The Mets lead it 5-2. Mets scored 5 runs in their half of the 7th. J.C. Romero is the new pitcher for the Phillies. And he takes over for Chad Durbin. Durbin goes 2/3, allows 2 hits and a run. And Carlos Beltran bats right-handed and takes a breaking ball for a strike. And it's 0-2. That's a pretty good pitch. We said it's odd that the Phillies, when the Phillies don't score 5 runs, at least 5 runs during this stretch, or get double digits in hits. We've also been spoiled because the back end of the bullpen is basically the only thing Charlie Manuel's been using. Ryan Matson, Brad Lidge, maybe J.C. Romero here or there, Chad Durbin a little bit.
Some of these guys need some work too, because they really haven't pitched that much and probably a little bit rusty.
On the Toyota Major League scoreboard, the American League playoff chase continues. The Yankees lost to the Red Sox 7-3. The Rays are leading the Mariners 5-1. That game's in the bottom of the 7th. The Rays lead the East by a half a game, or I should say a game over the Yankees. If they win, their lead will be a game and a half.
Starting to play out a little bit the way we talked last night. A long way to go for them, of course, but the schedule really in favor of the Rays to win the division, because the Yankees have to keep playing tougher teams. They got home run derby coming up because they have to play Toronto. Although the Yankees can compete in the home run derby just fine.
David Wright reached on a fielder's choice his last time up. 0 for 3. And it's 2-0. David Herndon is up and throwing in the pen for the Phils. And it's 2-1. Well, way out in front of a changeup, and it's 3-2. David Wright has always been one of the Mets' better hitters against left-handed pitching. And he's their leading hitter with a .345 average.
Might run Beltran here.
JC was thinking that too, just to give him a look to see if he might be going. Opposite way, that's going to sneak into right for a base hit. Beltran stops at second. So the Mets have runners on first and second with nobody out. So another tough spot for the Phils.
Well, they like to leave Romero in the game a while because you have a left-handed hitter up now, and I think they would prefer Pagan to hit right-handed. Two more hitters, and then after that, you have another left-handed hitter. So this is, this is why he's in the game right now, because this is a good spot to use a left-handed pitcher.
Mike Davis singled his last time up. Grounded out a couple of times. And after the single, he came around to score on Duda's 3-run double. And a pitch inside. 1 ball and no strikes. Back toward the middle. Nice play by Romero. There's one at second, and Valdez's throw over to first. A 1-6-3 double play. That's a big play. There's a runner at third, but there are 2 outs for Angel Pagan. Nice play by JC.
Yeah, and he knew the cover guy here is going to be Valdez. They had talked about it before the pitch is thrown. So all he has to do is lead him across the bag. Easy double play.
Looks like Carlos Ruiz was just signaling they're going to walk him intentionally. That's what they're going to do.
And they'll go after left with Tolley.
Josh Tolley's the on-deck batter for the Mets. He had an RBI single his last time up. Phillies trying to keep this at a 3-run deficit. Give their offense a chance to get something rolling. They're there half of the 8th. There's intentional ball 4. So runners on first and third with 2 outs. And here's Tolley. As good a contact hitter as he has been, that's what he's done against lefties. Just 182. That pitch nearly hit him. It's 1-0. Two and 1. They want an appeal, but the home plate umpire Jerry Lane says There's Jerry, the crew chief. Back toward the middle. Valdez is around the second base bag. JC just let it go on by instead of trying to tip it or make the play, and the side is retired. So Romero works into a little trouble, then works out of trouble. He leaves 2. We go to the bottom of the 8th, and Shane Victorino is due to lead it off. So much more are exclusively available through the Phillies. Visit the Game Used Collectibles kiosk at Citizens Bank Park behind Section 126, or check out the Phillies Authentic Shop at Phillies.com. The Phillies are driving for their 4th consecutive National League East title. A win tonight, and they will assure themselves at least a tie with the Atlanta Braves as Elmer Descends takes over here in the bottom of the 8th. The Braves won earlier today. A win today and a win tomorrow, and the Phillies are the champions. Descends his 49th game. He's 3-2. There's Feliciano settling it in left. And the pitch to Victorino is taken outside. It's 1 ball and no strikes. Now, there is a scenario that if the Phillies win tonight, that they will clinch at least a spot in the postseason. But it's 2-0 to Victorino, according to Major League Baseball. The reason for that is because if the Phillies win tonight, it would be their 94th win. And looking at the wild card in the National League West in particular, there's a battle between the Padres and the Giants and even the Rockies for the title and for the wild card. But the Padres and the Giants play each other in the last weekend of the season. So because of that, the Phillies, if they win tonight, will clinch at least a spot in the playoffs, because those two teams will knock each other off. And Victorino lines one to short. There has to be a loser, obviously, between the Padres and the Giants. And if the Phillies win tonight, the Rockies can't catch the Phillies anyway.
Yeah, since they're playing 3 games, somebody has an uneven game in there, so that's your point.
It gets kind of convoluted at this point in the year in a lot of ways, but Major League Baseball has confirmed that, you know, that would be the scenario. If the Phillies win, then the worst they could be is the wild card representative in the National League. But they want to go for the division. But it would still be pretty impressive to have 4 consecutive years, any which way, of getting into the postseason.
First time for them.
Polanco tonight is flied out twice. He's grounded out. 0 for 3. And it's 2-1. In the air to left field, and Feliciano doesn't have to venture too far back. 2 outs. And the journeyman Elmer descends, gets the first 2 batters, and that's going to be it. Jerry Manuel is going to go get the left-hander, Pedro Feliciano. Let's give it to the ball game to face Chase Utley and Ryan Howard, who's on deck.
Of course, it's a Phillies-Mets game.
Yep.
Feliciano has to come in.
So we've got a pitching change here at Citizens Bank Park. The Mets lead at 5-2. 2 outs here in the bottom of the 8th. And he's on to face Chase Utley. 3-6 for Feliciano, a 2.87 earned run average. Lefties are hitting just .205 against him. And the first pitch is inside. It's 1-0. Feliciano is 1 appearance away from his own franchise record for games in a season for a reliever. And he's a guy that's going to be on the open market at the end of the season.
Whoever gets him is going to get a guy with a lot of wear and tear, but a guy that has a lot of guts and will go out there and pitch for you. He has certainly proved that. If in fact he doesn't stay right here.
2-1 the count to Chase. Ryan Howard's on deck. Manny Acosta and Takahashi in the pen. That ball is back through the box. Off Feliciano, picked up by Wright. It's a 1-5-3 putout, and the Phillies go down in order in their half of the 8th. No runs, no hits, nobody left. We've played 8. We go to the 9th with the Mets leading it by 3. The Mets in order a couple different times as David Herndon will take over his 44th game. He's 1-3 with a 4.56 earned run average. And he takes over for J.C. Romero. Mentioned that Kyle retired the Mets twice in order tonight. Every time the Phillies do that, Comcast will make a contribution to Phillies charities. Phillies baseball is brought to you by the Xfinity Triple Play, your complete lineup for digital TV, high-speed internet, and home phone. And Arias leads it off for the Mets as we begin the ninth. David Herndon is another one of those guys who hasn't worked in a while. And he's getting an opportunity to work here. Trying to keep this at a 3-run game. And it's 1 ball and 1 strike. Arias only 15 at-bats since being acquired from the Texas Rangers in the Jeff Francoeur deal. And he smothers that one off his foot.
Herndon does that to a lot of hitters with that heavy sinker, and this guy has a shin guard on anyway, so he's hit a few of those off his leg anyway.
Into center field. Victorino's got to play that one on one hop. That was down toward the hands. And the leadoff hitter is aboard here in the ninth for the Mets. Hey, after the game, if you have a question for John Clark or Mike Missinelli, well, go to myphl17.com and click on Ask Postgame. John and Mike will have the answers you want, plus all the highlights and insights on the Xfinity Phillies postgame show right after the game on MyPHL 17. Here's Nick Evans with a runner aboard. Evans overall a .304 hitter in the big leagues, 7 for 23. This will be opportunity number 53, and David Herndon is hoping for another double play ball. He gets a ground ball, but it's foul, and it's 1-2. Phillies bullpen has been so good since the 1st of September that their earned run average has dropped under 4. It had been teetering above 4 for a good part of the year. Toward the hole at shortstop. Valdez has it. Off balance throw. Not in time as Ryan comes off the bag just to make sure it doesn't get by him. That's an infield hit. And Arias is up to second. So runners on first and second with nobody out.
Going to throw his ground balls is David Herndon. We've seen this all year. And, you know, all he can do is hope they're hit at somebody. That thing was a double play ball if it's hit at one of the infielders, but it was in a perfect spot. And this is one of those acrobatic plays by Wilson Valdez there. And good job by Ryan Howard. When your first baseman do no chance for an out there, come off the bag and control the baseball.
So 2 on, nobody out. Here's Reyes, who has hits in his last 2 at bats. A single in the 6th and a double his last time up. He drove in a run. Herndon has not pitched in 12 days. In fact, the last time was the 13th against the Marlins. He allowed a home run to Dan Uggla. Towering fly ball. It's a shallow right. Infield fly roll has been called by the umpires. 1 away. Well, the sinker ball gets a fly ball. And Feliciano will bat for the first time. Feliciano hitting .262 overall. He went down on strikes to finish off last night's ball game.
After the timeout.
After the timeout.
After he had grounded out. He made 2 outs, but only one of them counted.
Ground ball towards second. Utley has it, flips to Valdez for 1, over to first, a 4-6-3 double play. And David Herndon makes sure this is a 3-run deficit for the Phils as we go to the bottom of the ninth. One last chance for the Phillies, trailing at 5-2. This series tomorrow afternoon, the last home game here at Citizens Bank Park on MyPHL 17. Then it's off to D.C. for 3 games, an off day on Thursday in Atlanta. And the Phillies finish off the regular season with 3 against the Braves Friday, Saturday afternoon, Sunday afternoon. And the season finishes off on MyPHL 17. And we go to the bottom of the ninth, and the Phillies hope that this isn't the end for them. They trail at 5-2 or their 11-game winning streak. Isunori Takahashi is the new pitcher for the Mets. He's been perfect as the closer. 9 wins, 6 losses, 7 saves. A 3.81 earned run average. And he's trying to save it for Dylan G, who went 7 innings, allowed 4 hits and 2 runs. So Takahashi, who took over for Francisco Rodriguez when Rodriguez was hurt and was put on the disabled list after surgery to his thumb. And that's what he has to contend with, a sold-out crowd whipping around the rally towels from the folks at Toyota. And it'll be Ryan Howard, Jason Worth, and Raul Ibanez. As we mentioned before, a win tonight, and the Phillies are in the postseason. The worst they could do is be the wild card representative. That's because the only teams that could catch them in the wild card, the Braves, the Giants, and the Padres, those are the only teams. The Rockies can't catch the Phillies anymore. And the Padres and the Giants face each other in the final weekend. So one of those teams will be negated. The other team will win the West. Here's Ryan Howard. 1 for 3 tonight. He's provided the only offense with a 2-run homer. And is ahead 1 ball and no strikes. Base runners, base runners, base runners. That's what the Phillies need right now.
The Phillies saw Takahashi earlier in the year as a starting pitcher. Throws a lot of changeups. kind of crossfires with his fastball a little bit. A little breaking ball. You know, not a guy you look at and think would be a prototype closer, but, you know, they need somebody, and it's time for auditions.
Three 3-0 the count. He said the other day that he's content closing, but he wants to be a starter in the future. That may happen next year as a member of the Mets or somewhere else. Jason Worth is on deck. And Ryan was taken all the way, and he takes 4 pitches, and he's aboard. Phillies need one more to get on for the tying run to come to the plate. This winning streak, which is 11 games, began on the 12th of September against the Mets. Roy Oswalt's 3-0 shutout kicked it off. They thought the streak had ended the final game against the Nationals on the 19th, but Jason Worth took care of that. Jimmy Rollins hasn't been part of this winning streak, but he might be part of it tonight. We'll see. And the first strike of the inning at the knees to Jason Worth. He didn't think so. One ball and 1 strike to Jason. Mike Sweeney. It's been a while since he's taken some hacks. He's getting himself ready just in case. Opposite way for Worth, and it hangs up there for Pagan. Boy, he hit that right on the nose.
Yeah, that looked like trouble when it left the bat, but as you said, it just hung up there. Hit it too hard. Ball off the bat looked like it might slice away from him, but he got to Pagan so quickly that it really didn't have that much time to slice.
Raul is hitless at 3 at-bats. He's hit it 3 straight, 1 for 4 in last night's game. And he takes a strike. Tomorrow the series will wrap up with Cole Hamels, and he'll be opposed by left-hander Pat Mish. There's Cole. Boy, he has been so good.
Yeah, they feel real good sending him out tomorrow.
One and 2. Tough pitch to hold up on if you're a left-hander. A good eye by Raul, and it's 2 balls and 2 strikes. One more base runner, and Ruiz would be the tying run. Ryan not really being held on over at first.
Yeah, they're not worried about Ryan Howard at first base. They want to take the hole away, and they're after outs right now. Not even a situation where you hold a guy on so he can't score from first on a double because you have a 3-run lead.
and 2 away. So the Phillies are down to their final out.
Just a fastball away in a good spot. It is right on the outside corner. Raul knew it was a strike, just trying to put in play, foul it off, stay alive.
Well, the last chance for Carlos Ruiz. Hitless in 3 at-bats. Phillies with 2 runs on just 5 hits tonight. And a changeup on the outside corner. Carlos out in front. Soft fly ball to shallow center. Here comes Beltran. And the Phils' 11-game winning streak has come to a close as the Mets have taken game 2 of this 3-game series. Cole Hamels getting ready for tomorrow's start. The Phillies could have a little history tomorrow afternoon with Cole Hamels on the hill. Lucas Duda made some history tonight. He's our Chevrolet player of the game. His 3-run pinch hit double. Oh, it wiped away a 1-run deficit and gave the Mets the lead for good. And you figure the Phillies, well, they were going so good, you just didn't expect this winning streak to end, but it did tonight, Wheels.
Yeah, here's the 7th inning. This is the time we just talked about. Duda got a fastball away, looked like, from Chad Durbin, and he hit it hard into the gap in left center field, cleared the bases. The Mets, who have not been scoring a whole lot of runs, getting a lot of big hits, got one there.
So Lucas Duda's pinch hit double was the difference in this ball game. The Mets have defeated the Phillies 5-2. So the 11-game winning streak is over for the Phils. We'll be back after this.